Yo, big up everyone. It's your boy Rich, and yeah, this is kind of a joint stream. Nate will be in shortly. Jordan will be here in about 8 o'clock. But yeah, we're gonna chop up the whole Brentford preview, and then we're gonna discuss last night's game. It seems that obviously Twitter's gone into a complete meltdown. Palace Twitter. It's. I mean, it's obviously don't get me wrong. It's a very tough result to take, but like we've got to just take it as it is and just obviously make sure that we win the next one. Now, obviously, there's some stats that don't do us any favors, especially our away record's terrible. But we'll get into it. We'll definitely get into it. So as you jump in, if you get yourself comfortable, like the stream, share it out, and most importantly, stick around because we'll be dropping the link. We'll be dropping the link and making sure that if anyone wants to voice their opinions on last night's game, they're more than welcome to do so. So let's address those in the chat. So we got Jay, big up Jay. Says it was a shocking first half. Second half was much better, and we need to start games like we do in the second half. We have definitely become second half FC, 100%. And Wi-Fi, don't nip at me today, please. Big up Roland, my brother. Said he told you it'd be a hard game. Said big up Virginie. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, Jay, big up Sean as well. But you know, let's preview the Brentford game first, because I think it's only fair that we chop up last night's game with everyone here, give everyone an opportunity to have their say. But yesterday's result has made the Brentford game huge. It has made it. In fact, what am I doing? Sorry, yo, people, if you haven't seen already, I've copped myself a Her Game 2 jumper. Obviously, the Her Game 2 is a massive movement. Just obviously raising the profile of the women's game and obviously working hard to help eliminate the prejudice and the sexism in the game. Because obviously, unfortunately, it still happens where there's a lot of comments made, particularly about whether they can play or not and stuff like that. Also, they want to raise the profile of the game because of like the pay gap, the discrepancy in the pay, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot to it. Oh, yes, George.
Yes, Rich. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you just about.
Just about, yeah.
That's a bit. No, to be fair, I did turn you up on my Mac. That's a lot better.
All right. Well, I'm testing out to see if this is working. So let's see what.
Did you do Sainsbury's, Aldi, Tesco? Where you at?
Sainsbury's, isn't it? So I'm on the move right now. So
their thing is
it's
terrible.
one of them ones. Huh?
Their signal is terrible.
Oh man, tell me about it.
But yeah, what I was saying, first things obviously checking out the merch and that. Big up to the Her Game 2 movement. Big up Samara, who, you know, like myself, George, Nate, we're talking about like promoting the women's game a bit more, and she's jumped on board. So every Sunday it's the women's football review. It's with Samara, so make sure you're locked into that. But let's chop up the Brentford preview first because I want to drop the link in for the regarding the Norwich game a little bit later. How big is this game now? No, even know. George, can you still hear me? Nah, bless. Yeah, he's out there doing the groceries.
Yeah. Mate, I'm on the move, innit? So
listen, we'll catch you in a sec.
Alright, cool.
We'll catch you in a
minute. I've got like a half an hour drive in front of me though, so
that's all good. If you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, don't stress it.
Alright, cool.
Alright, in a bit. So yeah, Now big up George, still looking to be committed to it, even on a grocery shop. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Brentford game, massive game now. I said before the Norwich game that we'll need 4 points. We'll need 4 points, and we've only got the one at the moment. So I feel we need to win this game. Don't get me wrong, I don't think we're going to get sucked into a relegation battle, but we need to start picking up points. And I think we've drawn 10 or 11 games now. So lots of draws. And a lot of the draws are fixtures in which we should have won in. And I guess that's what the frustration is within the fan base at the minute. But like I'll share my viewpoints on that later on. It's going to be an interesting battle because we know that Brentford, they press high. I mean, they've obviously, unfortunately, they've nosedived as well themselves, which is unfortunate, but we know their dangers. I wonder if their press will benefit us, because I think if we can bypass their press, they're quite vulnerable at the back. You know, they do concede a lot of chances and they have conceded a lot of goals. But then if you give them the onus, they're very dangerous, very dangerous side, and that's what we've got to be mindful of. I don't know if Cheku will be back, but if he's not, I'm hoping Mac is fit. Schlapp has done well to fill in, but the gaps that are left in midfield are crazy. Now, big up to me, obviously, to win the penalty and stuff, but I think it's the area we need to control in this game against Brentford on the weekend. If we lose control of the midfield, we could see ourselves taking a beating. You know, I'm not worried about our attacking options and such. I think we'll be fine in that area. Defensively, we're going to have to be on it. Anderson's starting to look a bit at the minute. Woody had a terrible game, you know. So it's going to be very interesting, and I'm just obviously hoping that we can pull this one out the bag, because I think the games after that, I think there's 2 games, other games that are quite favourable, and then we've got is it was it Chelsea? Chelsea or Man City? One of the two. We have got a big side coming up, and then also Wolves. So hopefully we can start picking up, like I said, a few games and stuff. So a few points. Let me just a few more comments. Big up Louis. Jay is saying the midfield battle will be key against Brentford. If we can take our chances, we win that. This is it. Big up Nate, who'll be with us shortly. Jay saying he's airing you. Listen, big up Jordan. How lucky am I? Man City fixture rescheduled on my birthday. Already got tickets. Aye, wicked. Yeah, I should hopefully be there myself, actually. It's a Monday night now, which obviously as a teacher is a bit mad, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Big up Luca every time. Always here supporting. Arsenal got a huge game today at Wolves. Massive game. So big up. Let us know if you're doing a watch along for that as well, by the way, Luca. I'll make sure to watch that back afterwards. Norwich was a must win, but Brentford is a must win. I agree. Spot on. It is a massive game. The Brentford game is so huge. Big up James, Mateta Army. If we won that game, Mateta man of the match, but because we drew, it had to be Mitchell. See, it's a difficult one to gauge. Like Elise, even though he wasn't at his best, was still probably one of our biggest threats. Mateta was definitely a lot better second half than first half. He's starting to bounce the ball off like in 1 and 2 touch, like really snappy now, which is linking up the play really well. But to be fair to we were terrible in the first half anyway. So, but I would have to agree. Like Mitchell kept us in the game. To be fair, we could have been out of sight in that first half. To be fair, So I've got no complaints with that. I've got no complaints with that at all. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me share a screen actually. So yeah, you know what, guys in the chat, let's create a combined 11 together. Let me see if I can actually do this without causing a madness. All right. Because whenever I've done this myself, I'm having to put up so many different screens so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Share screen. Chuck in your thoughts in the comments, by the way, guys. What's your thoughts on this game on the weekend? Are there any substitutions you'd make? Are there any changes you'll make to the starting lineup? What's your thoughts on that? Whilst I get this screen shared. Wicked. All right. Now, I will be lying to you if I knew Brentford's side off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get their squad up. I'm going to get their squad up. Oh, I actually don't even know who their goalkeepers. Brentford FC squad. Boy, well, you know what's mad? Obviously, whilst I'm just getting things sorted my end, Ivan Toney. Obviously, he's a threat, a huge threat. Seems like all is forgiven after his explicits on holiday. You know, after he said F Brentford, which was mad, which was absolutely mad. But yeah, I got this squad up. Let's go through this. Oh, you're lying. That actually gives us a decent opportunity and stuff. Because I know Mbowen as well as quite a decent forward. All right, Tony injured. Decent. But it'll be typical Palace for us to throw it away though. Typical Palace. Right, in goal. Who are we going for? In goal? Are we going for David Raya, Butland, or Gaeta? What I'll do is I'll see if anyone has an opinion in the chat. I mean, to be fair to VG, he had a sound game yesterday, but then Butland's also played well recently as well. So it's kind of like, I think Butland's now become cup manager, to be fair. Cup manager? Cup goalkeeper. And VG's currently the league goalkeeper. Yes, no, definitely we're going to really get into that soon, actually. We're going to get into this soon. Just going to do this combined 11 and we'll talk about last night's game. 100%. It's such a game of two halves. No, it's at Brentford Stadium. Which makes it a tougher test for us as well. And all of us saying here, Ray's a good goalie, but gotta love VG. All right. The community has spoken. Let's get VG in there. Right back. Right back. I'm gonna go. Wait, Rico Henry. He does play right back, doesn't it? Yes, mate.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're here clear.
Oh, okay. Wicked. Sorry, I was stuck behind some woman paying with pennies. So like my stress levels are going through the roof, bruv. I was just like, fucking hell, are you serious? Ever heard of contactless? Oh, bruv, it was just peak. Do you know what? I think that stressed me more than the result last night, bruv. Big, like, being serious, I was like, this is a joke. What's going on, man? Sure.
Mad. How long did it take?
Enough time, bruv, because I could have sworn I was going to have kids and grandkids by the time I got out the shop.
Oh man, we're basically just doing this combined 11 for the meantime, and then after that we're gonna go straight into the last night's result.
Yeah. Cool.
So we're at right back. I see there's Rico Henry, who seems quite decent, but
yeah, but he plays left back, so you're kind of looking at him or Tyrick.
Yeah, then it's gonna be Tyrick then. I'm sorry. Who's their right back then?
Sergi Canos.
Oh, could they play wing backs?
Yeah, he plays wing back, bruv.
That's what it was.
Mm.
Oh, we'll stick him there then. If that's if his name comes up though.
Yeah.
Because obviously they might register him as a midfielder.
There we go.
Ah, yes, he's there. Oh, and Ty's going the left back. About Phil.
Yeah. By the way, just so people know, yeah, Tyrick Mitchell is one of the best fullbacks outside of the top six.
Oh, easily.
That's my left back, by the way, because
Easily.
I'm not going to lie, I was very tempted to jump on Twitter last night and absolutely roast half our players, but then I realised, no, I don't do that. Banter in the group chat and go on a mad one on the group chat because it stays in the group chat.
Yeah,
but on Twitter, whatever you put up there,
oh gosh,
somebody's going to clip, somebody's going to quote tweet, just, you know what I'm saying? You don't want that kind of smoke. So
100%.
You know, as much as we'll get into to last night, but I just wanted to put it out there. Look, elements of last night, disappointing. But let's be honest, this has happened all season. So I wasn't remotely thinking, why is this like, no, we've done this numerous times. Yeah. But this is the point. It takes time. It was never going to be, we're going to be brilliant against the so-called lesser teams and we're going to piss the league. It don't work like that. So people were losing their mind over it. I'm thinking, well, what do you want? Do you want dead football and half-decent results or half-decent football and ad hoc results?
Yeah. And then, like I said, we'll definitely chop that up because that's why I put that tweet up with the comparisons from last year and this year and stuff. But, you know, some people are a bit reactionary. But, hey, and the frustration's rightfully so, but don't start writing off the season. Like, some of the stuff I was seeing was mad.
I'm seeing people say sack Vieira. I'm like, okay, so we've arrived at this level, have we? Okay.
I don't get it.
I'm looking at that thinking somebody's bunning hella Buju Banton, bro. What's going on there? Somebody hasn't been in their okra, their rice and peas, their jollof. Somebody's not had none of that, bro. They're on a starvation thing out here, chatting about sack Vieira. Man, go fix your bed, you idiot. About sack Vieira. Fool. But anyway, let's get back to this combined 11. I don't mean to detract you, mate. Sorry.
No, it's all good. To be fair, something about I'm looking at Ethan Pinnock and Gay.
Oh yeah, 100%. If Brentford go down, I'd have Pinnock. 100% I'd have him.
He's a very, very good defender. Cool. All right, midfield 3. Let's start with who from Brentford would make it.
Josh Da Silva, because he's not too bad. Up until recently, I'd say Conor Gallagher, but I'm starting to see maybe the hype's gone a little bit to his head. And to be fair, you can't blame him because up until recently, he was running the show and was one of our standout players. So I'm not quite surprised that he's dipped off. It's just some people are like, oh, maybe Gallagher's not that good. No. The praise, the accolades and everything else has gone to his head. He's a young player playing at a club where he's not affiliated to them, and our fan base have fallen in love with him. Hence the term, don't fall in love with a lone player. Don't fall in love with a lone player. Don't fall in love with a lone player. I'm not going to swear, but you get the idea.
And it's like, crap. We fall in love with a lone player.
And it's like, fudge. It's happening. Again,
Again, this is it. Brentford actually have got Mbeumo as a midfielder. I've always thought he was a centre forward.
Well, he's that Watkins. That people regard Watkins as a striker, but Mbeumo's played as a winger and as an attacking mid.
Fair enough.
So it just depends how you'd want to position him, because it's a lot like, for example, like people sometimes put Gyro as a centre back. It's like, I wouldn't put Gyro as a centre back, but some people want to move mad out here. It's like, Gyro a centre back. Mate, you clearly didn't watch the Frank de Boer season. Peak.
So, what's your thoughts on Hughes, Gallagher, and Mbeumo?
I'm actually saying drop Gallagher.
Who would take his place?
Maka.
Oh, you know what? So I don't even consider the injured players. Yeah, that's a shout.
Only because if Gallagher has to work his way back into the team, we'll get him back focused. I'm not saying drop him because he's been crap or drop him because he's been poor. I'm saying because the praise has somewhat gone to his head, we need to kind of humble him and make him realize, yes, you are by far one of the best players in this squad, but you're not God. You're not the Almighty, the Alpha and the Omega. You have to earn your place back. And we've seen he's been missing Kouyaté, he's been missing Maka, because without them to anchor him, you know, he's in two minds as to whether to come back and defend or go forward and press forward. So, look, I'm not Patrick Vieira. If Vieira chooses to choose Gallagher, he's clearly not confident with the players he has. But for me, I'd drop Gallagher for this, put him on the bench for now. Just let him hold bench for this game. And then bring him on as an impact sub if need be.
I think the only reason why it won't happen is because of the result from yesterday.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, one of his substitutions turned the whole game. But we'll get into that too. So we'll go Mbeumo. I think Gallagher's done enough to stay in, just to this combined 11. However, I do agree that the performances have tailed off, and I wonder if it's coinciding with the fact that Maka's not there.
I think it is, you know, because you remember we're missing Kouyaté and Maka. And if anybody was watching the back of the nest last night, them boys absolutely smashed it when they said, as much as Gallagher's been getting praise, since Maka got injured and Kouyaté went to AFCON, and by the way, congratulations to our number 8 for that fantastic first triumph for Senegal. Delighted for them, commiserations to Egypt, because let's be honest, this AFCON tournament was so enjoyable. But to bring it back on track, we can see the difference between Cheku Kouyaté being there and not being there in midfield. Last season, he was effectively our first choice centre-back, which was alarmingly worrying. It was like, we're playing a defensive mid as a centre-back. Am I being trolled? Is my football club trolling me? Is this what it is? Look, I'm not saying Gallagher is terrible, he's trash, All I'm saying is his performances have tailed off, and it might be a good time to kind of wake him up a bit and say, listen, you need to earn yourself that undoubted spot.
Yeah.
Because nobody's space in this team is guaranteed. That before Will scored that worldie, everybody was saying, oh, Zaha's passed it, he's this, he's that, rare tear. He absolutely pipes that ball into the top bin, and all of a sudden, people are saying, oh, my goal, I never doubted him. It's like, okay. And this is me thinking, funny that. Wilfried Zaha comes back after a fairly disappointing AFCON from his country standards, puts one in the top bin, misses a penalty rather unfortunately, and people are still doubting him. And the reason they're doing that is because they want us to be Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea on Crystal Palace money. And remember, I said this earlier. I think I said this on the Three Eagle Eyes pilot. We need to be very patient with what we're trying to build here. It's not just going to gel instantaneously and we're going to become dead good overnight. There are going to be games where we're going to walk away from going, how the F did we drop 2 points, 3 points? Look at Leicester at home. I'm thinking, how the hell are we 2-0 down at half time? What's going on?
In the game, we completely dominated.
We drew 3-3 with Burnley. You're thinking Palace. I know this is a Palace thing to do, but seriously, Burnley. What did we have dodgy lasagna for lunch before the game was on? Because it looked like we just doodled all over the pitch towards the end of the game. You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
These patterns of dropping points in games, it's not new. It's not because it's happened in this game. It's happened throughout the course of the season. And what's really annoying is when we're in a winning position and we're dropping points, I'm more angry when it's like that. For example, Seaweed at home. I was pissed we dropped 2 points. Newcastle at home. Pissed.
Yeah.
Arsenal away. I was fuming. When we're coming back from defeat, for example, like last night, you can think, okay, it's not an ideal point, but we rescued a point from a fairly disappointing turnaround. Yeah?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden... sorry, go ahead, Rich.
I was just going to say, there is something about Vieira's halftime team talk. We just need to figure out what he says before the game.
No, what we need to do is remind them, lads, the game lasts 90 minutes, not 45 minutes. Yeah. And I even tweeted that last night. I said, the game lasts 90 minutes, lads. Can you do us a favor and turn up in the first half? Because this is a recurring theme.
We are second half FC.
Do you know? Look at Liverpool at home. First half, we got piped. We were lucky it was only 2-0.
Yeah.
Last night, we could have been 3-0 down. Second half, Liverpool were lucky to come away with a 3-1 win. And that logically doesn't make sense. Because how can you be lucky to win 3-1 away from home? But the second half performance, Liverpool were awful. We were brilliant. We just didn't finish our dinner. Same as last night. We come back from a very, very annoying 1-0 down scoreline after 46 seconds. You're thinking, did we get off the coach? Is this Roy Hodgson settings again? We parked the bus outside the stadium and just sat on the coach and let them do what they want. No, I can't go back to that. I've got nightmares from that.
Yeah.
But then you look at the second half, you're like, there's my football team. Oh, no. Oh, so we are at the stadium today. Okay.
We eventually showed up.
So did we just have 11 mannequins on the pitch in the first half? Was that what it was? Mannequin football out there. Was that what that was? No, but come on, Rich. You know what I'm saying.
All right, trust me, we were terrible. We were so bad.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Norwich, they're on a very big turn in form.
Yeah, they are.
So I give them credit. They've come back from effectively the brink of doom to say, "No, listen, we can still get out of this," and I think they could.
I think they could now as well, and this is the first time I actually believe that. You know what? I think they'll survive. Like I completely wrote them off, and Dean Smith, whatever he's doing. He's got a tune out of them. And it may not be a case where they're winning games, but they're
not losing games.
Very hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know, so
do you know what? I actually was thinking about this because I slept on this. I said, they're us from Tony Pulis, 13-14. If we weren't winning the game, we weren't losing the game. And you'd need a moment of magic or a dodgy pen or whatever it was back in that time to beat us. Pulis's teams were never easy to beat, rather. Look at Liverpool, for example. 3-0, the game should have been dead and buried. But Pulis's teams never gave up, and we salvaged the miracle of Christian-Bull, as I still like to call it, which makes me cringe. It's like, Christian-Bull, really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, it ain't like that. But yeah, man, listen, it was annoying because it really should have been 3, but it should have been 3 points second half. But first half, it should have been 3-0 to Norwich. So if you'd offered me a point, considering both halves were completely chalk and cheese, I'd say it's not ideal, but if it's the best I can offer, or best I'm offered rather, it's deal or no deal. Either you take it or you don't.
We leave it, yeah. Let's wrap up this combined 11. I'm going to bring that comment back up and we'll go through it. Go through some of the comments. I'm putting Elise in at right wing forward. That's just standard. I'm going to get into this as well.
It's actually scary how good he is.
Oh, it's mad. Up top.
I'm saying JP, he did nothing wrong yesterday.
Ivan Toney get a shout?
He's injured.
Oh, jeez, isn't he? I keep forgetting.
And seeing as he was moving mad in the last couple of weeks, I don't really think Brentford fans want to see him for a couple of days. You understand?
He did bag the other day, didn't he?
For
he scored for Brentford. I can't remember who he played though. Left wing. We got Saha or Edward?
Oh, it's got to be Wilf. Like, penalty miss or no penalty miss, it's good to see him back with the Zaha that we know. Because you saw me after the Tottenham game where I just went in on him and said, listen, if he keeps doing this, I don't want him at the club. When he's doing stuff like this, where he's scoring goals and he's making things happen, you're thinking, this is the Wilf that we remember. Yeah. This is the Wilf that we love, and we know when he's on it, he's on it. Unfortunately, we don't see him on it every game. If he's on it every game, he doesn't play for us. So maybe we're lucky that he hasn't been on it game after game after game after game after game. And bear in mind, he's probably thinking, if I'm not on it every week, I don't have the spotlight on me too much. Because it's been the Wilfried Zaha show for so long, you'd swear to God, we were literally Wilfried Zaha FC. Good point. Now, all the attention's on Michael Elise, and we're thinking, well, that's a good thing for us, because even if we do sell him, we get a hefty profit. Because we look at that £8 million and go, how the hell did we get this kid for £8 million? How? How did we do this? Explain that to me. I know Dougie's a genius, because I don't understand how we got Eze and Elise for under 25 mil. That's and actually, there's another quick I want to touch on quickly. Yeah. People are saying, oh, Eze's not back yet. An Achilles injury is not something you're just going to instantaneously come back to form from. What's like going on?
We have a very impatient fan base.
Well, after to be fair, after 4 and a bit years of Roy Hodgson, I can kind of understand it, but I'm not necessarily okay with it, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I get people's frustrations and people's anger, but at the same time, you support Crystal Palace. Like, we're not that team that's we're here, and what we want to be is up there, and we're still a fair bit away from the ceiling of even getting to that point. So, people, it takes time. If time ain't what you got, go support Liverpool and Arsenal and all of these, man. Because we've suffered through 4-0 at home to Sunderland. We've suffered losing dead games of football to awfully crap teams. Yeah. To now be able to say, do you know what? One more year, I think we could be a serious outfit. But yeah, let's get into this then, because I know you're itching to get into the comments.
Oh, I do. Surely Kurt's available. I think he might have some time off, but then again, Mendy's back with the Chelsea squad, so we'll see. We'll see. I think if he's back, I reckon he'll be back playing next week, though. In my personal opinion, just need to play the second half first.
Isn't it?
Ward was shambolic. We're definitely gonna chop that up, Tristan. Big up to you, my bro.
Big up, Tristan.
Evening day 00000. You know, on that note, what's the numbers in reference to? It's an interesting name. What do you think will happen if we fail to win on Saturday? Turn off Twitter. Turn off Twitter.
Well, if we fail to win on Saturday, it's quite simple. You're either going to be a grown human being about it and say, well, that was disappointing. Have a rant on your WhatsApp groups, have a rant in your Telegram groups and your Twitter spaces and all that. But people, if you can't be here for the downs, don't be here for the up. If we go to Wembley this season, the same people that are bitching about the drop points now in relation to, oh, we should be beating crap teams like Norwich. Yeah, okay, in a perfect world we would do. But last night in that first half, we weren't anywhere near beating Norwich.
We were terrible. 100%. We were much better than that. I think that's performance.
I think you mean performance.
Especially first off, 100%. I saw a time when he got fouled yesterday and just got up and kept trying, not moaning.
Because what's the point? If he gets fouled, they just check the club badge. Oh, it's Crystal Palace. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Because Norwich players love touching grass, bruv. Donkeys FC, bruv. Sheep FC, Pigs FC, Cows FC. They was touching hella grass last night.
Crazy. And I did see a time when he went into rest face. I think AFCON changed him.
Yeah, because AFCON refs don't ramp with that team. They'll literally tell you get up.
One of them went right into Salah's face. It was so funny. It's like, I'm the ref. Who are you talking to?
Like I said, the refs over there, they don't ramp. The refs over here, they're all too pally. Like we've seen, what was it? When we played Arsenal, I think it was under Roy. The referee spotted our players and a certain person on AFTV lost his shit. I'm like, big man, it's not like he was saying, "Yeah, listen, Palace, you need a dodgy pen against Arsenal. I've got you, bruv." It was literally he was just spotting someone. Like I'm thinking, this man actually thinks the referee's conspiring against Arsenal, when Arsenal will be the more likely team to get a dodgy decision in a game against Crystal Palace. My lord. But
Vieira saying that
we're not ruthless in front of goal. Yeah,
that is true. Big up George, he can't make it, but it's all good, bro. What I want to say is that Ward is like having PV at fullback instead of man not being there. Ward is invisible. People just walk past. Listen, the way he got spun.
look,
I can laugh about it now because I've slept on it. But to see our back line, so we had the three like fairly level with each other, and Ward's pushed up. Anyway,
look, with Ward, yeah, I don't want to be cussing him because he was there at the very start, so it's very hard to turn on someone who was there when it was literally, we were like, he wasn't there administration wise, but like that promotion season, he came in for that season. So he's literally been with us from promotion, from the start of the promotion season to now. And I'm thinking, yeah, we should have replaced him 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, probably moved him on after the cup final, if we're being honest. But because we're a sentimental club, as we've proven the last couple of weeks, I'm not bemoaning the fact that he's still playing for us. I'm just thinking it looks a bit naive that we didn't try and sign someone to cover Ward and get someone that has pace on the right-hand side to protect Ward. Because what I mean by that is when we're playing the Manes and the Jotas, the Pulisics and Pepes and all them, they've got pace that can twist Ward 6 ways from Sunday and 14 on a Friday. Ward's not got the pace to even remotely catch. I could probably beat him in a foot race, and I'm a fat shit. Do you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, what Ward lacks in pace, look at his defensive acumen. Last night he was getting done over and over and over and over and over again on pace. But Ward's very rarely beaten out of position. Granted, when he's going AWOL up the pitch, that's when he's completely having a brain fart. But you know what I'm saying? He's not the type to abandon his post. He knows he's got to stay as tight to the box as he can. If that's Patrick Van Aanholt, he's at the opposite end of the corner flag. He's waving over to the lino. Hey, look at me, Mr. Lino, I'm offside.
Yeah.
That was Van Aanholt settings. So what JC said is very true. But I don't want the Van Aanholt and Ward comparison because that's like a fusion. It's just it's making me very uncomfortable. But yeah, Ward got put on a pizza, he got put in a spliff, he got put on a bus poster, you name it, he got put on it last night. He just got it put on him.
Yeah. Badly as well. Do you reckon Ward plays worse with the captain's armband?
Nope.
Nice.
He's just done. It's just coming to an end at Palace.
This is it.
Because
with the pace of the game as well, like, and he's in his 30s now? 30.
He's 31, 32.
Yeah. Like the pace of the game's changed, man. So fair play for like that he's still keeping up to an extent. You know,
well, look, he's locked in for a testimonial, so it's not even a question of he's not good enough. It's that no, he's going to go down as one of the players that built us to where we are. So I'm not remotely saying he's trash, he's rubbish. It's like, yeah, he ain't quite Zeki Friars and these men. Like there are levels to how shit you can be as a fullback at this football club. You know, he didn't cover himself in glory, hasn't done all season. But when we've needed him, he has stood up. He's been a leader. When we lost Maka, you're thinking, who the F takes the armband? Because Zaha's not a captain. Milivojevic is effectively AWOL now.
Yeah, he's done.
You know, so who else can lead the team that's been here long enough to know what the team is about? Because we don't have the Spironis and the Delaney's and the Jedinaks anymore. If we still had those players, then Jedinak wouldn't. If Jedinak had never have left and we had another 10 years out of Jedinak, then Jedi would still be here. Jedi would be flinging our players across the dressing room for that performance last night.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel that might actually be something we need to bring in. Just someone who's just gonna like ruffle a few feathers, you know what I mean, and just like give him a kick up the backside.
I think
You know
Vieira ran amok in that dressing room yesterday because you could tell he was pissed, bro.
Because second half, I don't even think Norwich came out their half. Like
No,
it was relentless, you know. And I reckon, obviously, had Wolf scored his penalty, I think we would have scored another 2 or 3 more.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it was just, like I said, it was just relentless. Tristan makes a good point. I was reading this as you were talking. He said, 1 away win all season, 10 draws this season, not on. Shows a lack of cutting edge from us, which we agree. We are not ruthless. We are definitely not ruthless. Being serious, this is a very serious matter. It's embarrassing. You know what? I can see both sides. And don't get me wrong, and I'm going to read your other comment, Tristan. I feel like a lot of Palace fans don't notice how dreadful we are away from home. In my opinion, really infuriates me. Our away record is terrible. It is bad. You know, 1 win, and that was to Man City. It was to Man City. But how many draws have we got from that? 5? 6?
Norwich, Seaweed, Burnley, which is 3. I'm trying to remember now. Arsenal.
Burnley.
Already said Burnley.
Sorry.
Seaweed, Arsenal, Burnley. Oh Lord, I'm trying to. At Norwich, that's 4. West Ham.
Yes.
West Ham away was 2-2.
I'm sure I can get the table up which shows it. We've got 5 draws. I think you mentioned them. So you've got 5 away draws, 5 home draws, 5 defeats.
Burnley, Arsenal, Seaweed, West Ham, and Norwich.
Yeah.
It's the 5 away draws. The 5 home draws would be Southampton, Leicester, Newcastle, Seaweed, and Brentford.
Yeah. So when we look at those away draws, we came back against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
We came back because we were 2-1 down against Burnley, but then we took the lead. So the Burnley one's probably one of the most disappointing ones, actually. Norwich,
No, Arsenal.
Yes.
Because Arsenal, their first goal was against the run of play. Not that we were massively on them or anything, but neither team looked really great in those opening 6-7 minutes. And then one badly defended corner at that, Aubameyang smacks it in. And you're looking at that going, oh, great, 1-0 down. You then get the equaliser. Edouard then bangs in to completely stun the Emirates, albeit you don't really need to do much to stun the Emirates. There's always fight anyway. But that draw was disappointing. Normally a draw with Arsenal, you're thinking, okay, I'll take that. But in the context of the way the game played out, you're thinking, and this is where that draw falls on Vieira, because why on earth he brought Tompkins on for a striker, I don't know.
Yeah.
The argument is he was trying to close the game out. That, yeah, but you bring on another striker. You bring on Mateta. You bring on Schlupp. You bring on Elise. You bring on Raksaki. You bring on Jack Wells-Morrison. You bring on anyone you can who's got a form of attacking grit about them. Scott Banks, Nia Kirby, any of them. You bring on anyone that's looking to drive at players and put Arsenal under that pressure. You get that 3rd goal, and then that Lacazette goal means nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and we failed to do that.
So from those 5 away draws, 2 of them we were in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
2 we came back from. So who am I missing?
Mm-hmm. Brentford, 0-0. So that was at home, sorry.
Yeah, the way on. So Arsenal and Burnley, we took the lead. Seaweed. Yeah. So that
Seaweed, we took the lead.
We took the lead as well, but we did
in both games, we took the lead against the Scum.
Yeah.
Albeit the one at home, we battered the shit out of them.
Yeah. See, so when I look at it, yes, the away form's terrible, but I'm more disappointed with the home ones. The home draws are really ticked off about. Newcastle should have beat. Seaweed should have beat.
Southampton.
Oh yeah, they only had like 2 shots and they scored them both. Should have
Ward
been
Prowse with a knuckleball free kick. You're like, of course.
So what is it? I've lost my track.
Brentford.
Oh wait, but that one was kind of expected. Second game of the season. There's one of
No, but like we're looking at that first game at home against the new promoted side. You're thinking, even if we're not necessarily cooking on burners and cooking with gas, we should still be able to at least get a 1-0 win over Brentford. We knew they were dangerous, and remember we said that in the Brentford preview. We weren't saying we're going to pattern them 4-0, 5-0, rare tear. But you're looking at that game now, and you're thinking, that's another 2 points dropped. Where granted, both teams could have won it because I think we both hit the bar on numerous occasions. So it's like, okay, on that respect, a 0-0 draw is a fair result because neither team really had that cutting edge. But go back over all our games this season, even when we've won, the lack of cutting edge at key moments is astonishingly awful.
It is a concern.
Even the City game and the Norwich game and Wolves, for example, we won those games, but you're thinking, on another day we could have had 4 or 5 against Norwich, 4 or 5 against Wolves, maybe 3 against City.
Yeah, and then Leicester City as well. That was another game where complete dominance. We had to come back from behind, which was crazy.
It's a learning curve. So I'm not at all on this sack Vieira thing, sack Friedman, sack Ossie and Roberts, sack this, sack that, rare tear. It's like, okay, let's just sack the whole lot and put Pete the Eagle in charge then if you want it that way.
Yeah.
But sack Vieira, man.
I don't think, man. We're not happy with the draws to an extent. Because apart from Liverpool, and even then we were quite decent, and the Spurs game at their ground, and obviously Chelsea at the beginning of the season, we've not really been battered.
No.
We've just either been not clinical or conceding very dumb goals.
Or a bit of both.
Spot on.
Look at Man United away. Fred scores the only goal that Fred would ever score. And it's against us because Jordan Ayew is living off that Abedi Pele tax.
Don't get me started, please.
No, but you know what I'm saying, Rich. You're thinking to yourself, you're meant to be one of the best African players of all time, son, and you do that at Old Trafford. Fair enough, he is not world class in any stretch, but I'm thinking, mate, did Abedi Pele adopt you off the side of the road in Accra or something? What was going on over there, bro?
Maybe
we signed the wrong Ayew.
Sean's saying there, talking about Max Aarons,
Max Aarons, yeah.
He played well yesterday, to be fair to him. He did play well. Big up J-Bar. Woody's been great for playing for us.
Yes, he has. And this is the thing people are forgetting. No Joe Ward, that playoff final went to penalties. Because he was on the line getting that ball off the line in the playoff final.
That's a good point, yeah. Neil saying give the armband to Anderson.
MacArthur's back, so for me, I'd be saying Maka because Maka's a captain. Maka is captain.
Material, 100%.
Luca may be club captain, but Maka's vice captain, and for me, Maka's more of a captain because you see him bollocking Gallagher. You see him bollocking our midfield.
This is it. Wolf is an okay captain.
No, he's not.
Just struggles to keep his head sometimes, to be honest. Arsenal are winning at last I checked.
It's the Super Mario Brothers derby, mate. Luigi versus Mario.
Speaking
shout out to Ed and Tariq, by the way.
Tariq is at the game. He's at Molineux.
Yeah.
He's got a Crystal Palace jacket on, by the way. But you see the jacket he's wearing. It's so red and blue. Play Edward on Saturday with Klein at right back. Interesting. I'm going to put these comments up. If anything jumps up to you, Nate, feel free to jump in on that.
Well, all of us put a good point, Nate. See the away games we've drawn. If you'd offered me get patterned by City, and win the away games we've dropped points in, I'd have snapped your hand off. But at the same time, there's part of me that thinks, but it's the most Palace thing ever. Win away from home at the one ground you're not supposed to win at because they're that fucking good. And the games that you're expecting to get something at least like a 1-0 win, no. You're just on that dead food tax. You're on food stamp settings. Nah.
This is it. Can Eze and Gallagher play together in midfield?
This ain't FIFA, so anybody talking Eze and Gallagher in midfield is playing way too much FIFA.
We have to have the most immaculate DM.
We'd need to pretty much revive a hybrid of MacArthur, Jedinak, and Ledley. And Kabay. You'd need all four of them fused into one for it to be that good of a DM.
Neil says here, points away from home are always good points. It's the last minute goals that are killer.
Yep.
And we've conceded way too many of them.
Yeah, because remember, there used to be that very apparent phrase in the fan base, respect the point. But now all of a sudden people are bitching about getting a point away from home from a game that we could have been losing 3-0 had it not been for Tyrick Mitchell.
100%.
So, you know.
I'm happy with the draws, but I'm happy with the way we play. And yeah, spot on. I think once we sort out the top end of the pitch, being more clinical, and just cut out the little errors and defensively, the sky's the limit, you know. Like, we've really got to enjoy the season. And yes, it is frustrating. Trust me, it is frustrating. And I'm going to now touch on one area that I really want to pick up on. Vieira's sub of Elise. I think that changed the game. I honestly think
but I don't want to look at just one sub and say that changed the game, because you could argue you should have taken Ward off at half time and brought on Klein. Yeah. If you go on what Crybaby Pathetic FC was saying on Twitter, because that's what the fan base are at the moment, Crybaby Pathetic. If we're going to call ourselves CPFC, it's Crybaby Pathetic Football Club, right? I get people wanting to see Klein come on because Klein's got a little bit more pace, but don't get it twisted. Nathaniel Klein does not have the pace he had when he was here as a trainee. He's had serious injuries at both Liverpool and I'm fairly certain at Southampton, where pace can hamper a right back. Bear in mind, there would have been no Trent if Klein hadn't got injured. The only reason Trent emerged as Liverpool's star right back is because Klein got injured. And by the time that Klein came back off injury,
crazy,
he weren't shifting Trent out of that position. And you can't blame it, because you look at that going, that's what we need to do. We need to hope that the next 2-3 years at Cobblers Cope, maybe 5 or 10 years even, I'm more than happy to wait a number of years. Once the academy starts to really churn out a crop of players who are like, holy shit, these kids are something special.
Yeah.
We can sit here and go, this kid reminds me of Raksaki, Adaramola, and all of these. The players we're looking at now, they're good for the interim, because they might be good to put, like, Adaramola's impressed. Raksaki briefly impressed against Chelsea, albeit we were already 3-0 down, so they can't really read too much into that, because it's like Brandon Pierrick away at, ironically, Norwich under Roy. It was like everybody was going mad. Oh, Brandon Pierrick, It's like, mate, there's a reason why we sold him to a team in Denmark. He wasn't all that.
This is it.
You know, the Elise sub, to bring back to your point, I get why he did it. We don't want to run the risk of losing Elise to an injury or a silly little niggle, but at the same time, you're looking at it going, was that the sub to make?
Yeah, and this was it. When I talk about the fact that we lost momentum, I know Joe Ward wasn't having the best of games, but he was a little bit better in the second half just because we had the ball. You know, I think if Vieira Ward's going to make that change, I think he just needed to hold out for another 10 minutes. Just another 10 minutes. Because I think Zaha had just scored and we were on top and the pressure was coming.
The momentum had shifted the minute that ball flew into the back of the net. You're like, okay, now the switch has been hit.
It was crazy. It was just like relentless pressure. And then Jordan comes on and he's like he was playing at right back. It was so deep.
Nah, bruv, it's like man was left at AFCON, bruv.
It was just like, now we don't have that outlet.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only aspect I was a bit disappointed. It felt a bit flat after Elise came off.
Yeah, but that's worrying though, because as much as we've been praising our transfer policy from the window just gone, as in the summer window, this summer we have to do more of the same. Yeah, we do. Because the left back situation for me, I think Teo should be considered, not necessarily right away, but he should be earmarked as right. If Mitchell goes, he's the next one off the line for left back. Yeah. Nathan Ferguson, if we could keep him somewhat fit, loan him out next season and hope to God he can stay fit. If not, cut the cord.
That's another thing.
Joel Ward, honour his testimonial agreement because we did promise him a testimonial after 10 years of loyal service. After that, cut the cord. Natty Klein, we love him. It's great to have him back at the club. It's great to welcome back old boys that did well for us in the past, but the Klein we brought back ain't the Klein that we let go. So, like, for me, I'd hope to God we're looking at young players across Europe. Like, there's a right back at Ajax who's rapid as sin. It's like, holy fuck. He's only 18 years of age, so he wouldn't necessarily go for big money to a club like us. Now, I'm not in any way saying that we could get him, because if Ajax play clever, they could say, well, wait a minute, he's got a better chance of getting a better move to a bigger club. And that's totally fair, because Ajax, to be fair to them, are a big club. Yeah. But if you look at Devin Wrench, he's actually a pretty decent young right back. Now, if you could offer me the offer of Max Aarons and Jed Spence, I'd be like, oh, all day long. The two of them to rotate our right back situation, bruv, we'd cook. Mitchell and Teo left back, Spence and Aaron's right back.
That would be
and
mad.
then just fling away like man like Milivojevic and Riedewald and these man, Tompkins and that. Because you know what, people were disrespecting Martin Kelly. It's like, see, Martin Kelly, I've always rated. He's not good enough to start, but he's loyal. Not loyal, sorry. He's dependable. But Tompkins, his best years are past him. He's like Sacco. When he first came in, he was that guy. But now he's not. To answer Tristan's point here, how many points can you see Palace getting between now and the end of the season? Luckily, we don't have many pressure games to play now, like Seaweed, Millwall, so we don't have games that we have to, oh shit, we have to win those. But the remaining games at home against teams that we should be getting points from, we need to see what Norwich did last night, where they were just on it from the very first whistle. Vieira needs to say what they did. We need you to do that, because no one's expecting you to go hammer and tongue after 46 seconds and boom, 1-0. We were shell shocked. It was like, oh shit, 1-0 down already.
So quick. So quick.
I was on patrol last night at work, and then I came back in off patrol and see me 1 down. I went, 1 minute. Are you kidding me? It only took 1 minute for us to concede to Norwich City. I'm not surprised. It's like when your parents used to catch you doing something. I'm not surprised. I'm not sad. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. You know that one?
I've heard it many a time.
You'll be saying it a fair bit as well, mate. Trust me.
But for me personally, I feel we can get to the 45-point mark. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in our season preview, mid-table and a cup run, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, and this cup run's been decent. If we can actually make the quarterfinals, I'm not going to complain. I'm really not going to complain. It's nice that we've got a happy medium where we're at the moment not really in a relegation fight, and I don't think we will get dragged into it. But
we haven't been mentioned at all this season, which is refreshing for once.
You know, and I know it sounds mad, but we're like 3 points off 10th. And I think that's where the frustration is, because we realistically, with all the points we've dropped, we could be 7th or 8th, you know. Do you know how mad it is?
As much as this pains me to say it, we've turned into the seaweed from the last couple of years. They were comfortably on top in games, battering teams left, right, and centre, but dropping points here, there, and everywhere. And we were battering them, going, but they're looking at us going, yeah, but you lot are playing such awful football. Can you really be on a pedestal to us, acting like you're the big team? And the only thing we could banter them was, yeah, but you haven't beaten us with this sexy football. And they still haven't, by the way. They still haven't beaten us. Let's get that in there, because Potter ball is a myth. But no, look, being real though, it's a worry, because the games that we're expecting to win, we're not winning them. We're not losing them, but we're not winning them. Like, I'm not confident playing Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Red Tear, all of these teams. I'm like, yeah, we'll probably get patterned. It is what it is. We move.
Yeah.
When we're playing Norwich, Villa, although granted Villa have massively improved this season, but you know what I'm saying. They're relatively close to us in terms of, right, they are a bigger club. They've got way better resources. But on the day, we have the ability to beat them. Just we didn't manage to get near them last season or even this season.
Mm.
You know, we're looking at certain games and thinking, right, we could get patterned here, as opposed to there's a chance we could win, chance we could lose. You know, and under Roy Hodgson, we were like, yeah, we're screwed. Yeah. It wasn't even a case of we've got a fine chance. Of it. No, we're done. We haven't even kicked a ball yet, and we're saying it's over.
Let's finish up with score predictions for the weekend. It's going to be a tough one, to be fair.
If I go with my head,
we're going to break the duck. 2-1 Palace. Come on.
If I'm going with my head, I'm saying a score draw because I just don't see us breaking this rut we're in. We need to.
Yeah.
But remember, we were looking at last night and saying this is the perfect time to get 6 points on the board, and we're back in business. We're back cooking. We're Gaslight FC and all of this.
Mm.
But mate, we forgot to put the heating on last night. The boiler wasn't fixed last night. That's what we're moving, bro. Hella hot water, what was in the bed. That's what we're moving on. Yeah. So with Saturday, I want to say we could beat Brentford because if Ivan Toney's still injured, that's a massive relief. But Vissa could still be a massive handful. So don't believe that they're just Ivan Toney FC. Head says 1-1. Heart says 2-1 like you. Yeah, I'm going to back a 2-1 win with my heart. But my head's kind of telling me, Nathan, when we backed us to win, we don't win. Ironically, if we back ourselves to lose, watch us go pattern Brentford on the weekend. Because remember I said it in the preview. I was backing Man United to beat Burnley. And these man patterned up with... But it's like, mate, when I was cussing you lot, you was doing well. Now I'm actually backing you. You man are doing a Palace. It's like I can't like I told you I'm shit at predictions, yeah. I told you from time. But it's like can I not be proven right on this, please? I want to be proven wrong. I held corn with Sean about Mateta and I took it and said, you know what, fair play. But yeah, look, here's what it is. We moved to Saturday and
yeah.
Can we just play our games like it's the FA Cup? Because we like the FA Cup this year, and I enjoy the FA Cup this year.
Yeah, but they're all at home as well.
Bar one.
Yeah, that's true. Bar one. Well, South London's us, to be fair.
Oh yeah, but listen, that's been the case for 9 years now. Like there's like Charlton can't chat to us, bruv. These men beat the 4th choice team of South London 3-2 and was gassing about, oh, we're the real team of South London. Yeah, you've won 1 FA Cup, fair play. But did you do 10 years in the Prem? Oh no, you did 7. Next season, if next season for us will be 10. It's like, hold up a minute.
Yeah.
If PV wins us the cup this year and we get 10 years in the Prem, it's like, well, wait a minute. We already knew that. Yeah, but you lot are sorry. Half your lot come in from Gravesend and these places like Raynham and Sittingbourne and Kent and all these places. Like, yeah, there are some of our fans in Surrey, but then again, not everybody from South London supports Charlton, Palace, Millwall, Wimbledon. So yeah. Like, but now look, I'm confident we can win. I want us to win. But knowing Palace love to F it up against teams we should be winning, sorry, should be beating rather. Jesus, I can't even English right now. It's just, I want to back us, but I know we're going to F it up. It's like, it's Palace. When we're expected to absolutely smack someone, we get smacked. Or we're just putting in a turkey of a performance.
Yeah, you're saying it, you might jinx it.
Here's what it is. Listen, if you can't be real with yourself, then you're only fooling yourself.
Not for real. Guys, that was the Brentford preview as well as the match reaction to last night as well. I'm off to training for first time. I'm going training in like 2 and a bit months.
And just quickly, big up to Rich for doing a Jay Sean flying solo for a bit, because man held it down on his own, flying solo like Jay Sean.
You know, I ain't done that in a while. I forgot how hard it was.
Aye, brother, if I didn't have to stand behind that woman counting pennies, I'd have been here quicker.
No, it's all good.
But listen, it is what it is, people. Listen, make sure you stick around. We'll have a couple of shows ready for the next couple of weeks. But listen, up the Palace, and we'll see you on Saturday. Come on, you Palace.
Come on, Palace. I'm not ready for the up. There it is. Peace.